Mastering passive voice, avoiding common mistakes. Hello, English language learners. Today, we're diving deep into a challenging but vital topic in English grammar, the passive voice. More specifically, we will focus on avoiding common mistakes people often make when using this structure. So buckle up and let's get started. Firstly, let's quickly recap what the passive voice is. In English, we have two ways of expressing an action: active voice and passive voice. The active voice is where the subject performs the action, e.g., John wrote the letter. The passive voice is when the subject is acted upon, e.g., the letter was written by John. Now, let's delve into the most common mistakes and tips to avoid them. One common mistake is using incorrect verb forms in the passive voice. Remember, the passive voice requires the use of the verb be plus the past participle of the main verb. For example, the cake is baked, or the cake was baked. Remember to match the correct form of be with the subject and tense. In passive sentences, we often include the agent, or the person, thing doing the action, using by. A common error is misplacing this by phrase, or omitting it when it's necessary for clarity. Remember, the by phrase should come after the main action. The cake was baked by John, not John was baked the cake by. Sometimes, the passive voice is overused when the active voice would be simpler and more direct. If the agent of the action is important or known, consider using the active voice. For example, instead of saying, "The cake was eaten by me," it's simpler to say, "I ate the cake." When changing a sentence from active to passive voice, we often forget to change the object into the subject. For example, the active sentence, "I love the dog," becomes, "The dog is loved by me," in passive voice. The object, the dog, in the active sentence becomes the subject in the passive sentence. And that wraps up our session on avoiding common mistakes in passive voice. Remember, mastering the passive voice is a journey, so don't be discouraged by mistakes. They're part of learning. Keep practicing, and soon enough, the passive voice will become second nature to you. Happy learning, and see you in our next lesson.